This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. In the U.S., automakers want the federal government to help deal with the global semiconductor shortage. The Alliance of Automotive Innovation, which represents most major automakers, is asking the Commerce Department to help fund chip production in the U.S. for the auto industry. It warns that the shortage could cost automakers nearly 1.3 million vehicles in lost production this year, and the disruption could last another 6 months. As we reported last week, new car inventory levels are plunging, and that means prices will go up. Starting next year, Volkswagen's electric vehicles will have bidirectional charging capability. Also known as vehicle-to-grid, the technology allows power to be sent back to the grid while charging to help balance the grid when needed. Owners could even be compensated by the electric utility companies for use of their battery pack. VW confirmed that all of its EVs built on the MEB platform will be equipped with the system starting in 2022. And it's not just the VW brand. Audi, Skoda, and Seat's EVs will have the capability too. Not many EVs currently have the feature. The most notable one is the Nissan Leaf, but more are coming. The new Hyundai Ioniq 5 will have it, and Tesla plans on adding it to its vehicles in the future as well. And be sure to join us this Thursday for Autoline After Hours. Our special guest is Matt Brugman, the CEO of Flux Mopeds. Those things are electric, and he wants to blow the market wide open for micro-mobility. Join John and Gary to find out how he plans to do that.
The world is changing at an ever-increasing pace. No matter what the mode of transportation, there is always the need for an efficient propulsion system. And that's exactly what BorgWarner has been doing since the earliest days of the automotive industry.
Automated and autonomous driving are important developments that help make the traffic of the future safer, more efficient, and more comfortable. We are ZF.
After yesterday's show, General Motors gave us more information about the SUV version of the Hummer EV. And everything from the C-pillar rearward is different from the pickup. It has the same approach angle as the truck, but the departure angle is over 10 degrees more, 49 degrees versus 38.4 degrees for the truck. All-wheel steering provides up to 10 degrees of rear wheel movement. The turning radius is only 35.4 feet, which is about 3 feet less than the Mustang Mach-E. It's estimated to have 300 plus miles of range. Some of you may remember the truck is rated at 350 plus miles. But because the SUV has a shorter wheelbase of nearly 9 inches, it has 20 battery modules instead of the truck's 24. GM has still not released the kilowatt-hour size of either battery. The nav system lets you download trail maps for off-roading and will tell you how much charge is needed to do the trail and still be able to get to the nearest charging station. They're launching the SUV with a first edition, which is already sold out, despite a price tag of $110,000. A comment from yesterday caught our eye. Lambo 2015 says, anyone can look at an ICE window sticker and know what city, highway, and combined fuel economy numbers mean, but many people will be confused by EV jargon. Well, I think we can help clear this up a little. In the U.S., the EPA lists MPGE, or miles per gallon equivalent, range, and how many kilowatt hours will be used in 100 miles of driving. I'll be honest, I don't ever really look at MPGE. The other two are more useful. In terms of kilowatt hours per 100 miles driven, the most efficient EVs are right around 25 kilowatt hours per 100 miles. Less efficient ones are around 30 to 35 kilowatt hours. So that's one way of looking at it. However, we prefer taking the EPA range and dividing by the size of the battery pack. That gives you miles per kilowatt hour, which is much more akin to miles per gallon. For example, new Tesla Model 3 long ranges have 353 miles of range and an 82 kilowatt-hour battery pack. When divided together, that gives you 4.3 miles per kilowatt-hour. And we think that's one of, if not the most efficient EV out there. And really anything around 4 miles per kilowatt-hour should be considered pretty darn efficient, at least for now, as we know better batteries are coming. But the same can be done with WLTP figures, but we like EPA because it's closer to what you'll see in the real world. But remember, just like in ICE, these figures can change with other factors like temperature and driving behavior. It's just something more of us are going to have to get used to, which will come as we all drive more EV miles. As that happens, EV buyers will care as much or as little about range and efficiency as they do about MPG when purchasing an ICE vehicle. China is getting an all-new long wheelbase version of the Envision called the Envision Plus. It's about 2 inches longer than the current model, features GM's new electrical architecture, and will have an all-new propulsion system. Styling also looks similar to the new models that debuted earlier this year. That's all we have to go on for now, but we'll provide more details when we see them. And sticking in the realm of teases, Polestar's CEO showed this picture on Instagram of what looks like a performance version of the Polestar 2. It sits lower, has bigger wheels and tires, as well as Brembo brakes. Is there any upgrade to the base car's dual motors that put out a combined 400 horsepower? We'll have to wait and see.
We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Lexus is running a safety campaign to get people to stop texting and driving. It's pretty interesting. It's gathered a group of regular people together to participate in making a video about distracted drivers. They started out by asking them if they text and how long they look at their phone.
Probably like 1 to 2 seconds.
Couple seconds.
2 seconds at the most?
But they're wrong. Lexus says it takes an average of 4.6 seconds to read or send a text. And safety experts know that anything that takes your eyes off the road for more than 2 seconds is very dangerous. At 55 miles an hour, you travel the length of a football field in 4.6 seconds. So Lexus modified an NX with electrochromatic tinted glass, which can go from transparent to opaque instantaneously. That way, they could block the driver's view for 4.6 seconds. But they didn't tell the people this would happen. The drivers were then challenged to take the vehicle on a course to see how well they would do.
I'm gonna crush it. I'm a good driver.
I think I'm gonna crush it too.
Okay, I forgot the next car.
Yeah, let's do it.
You feeling thumbs up?
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Okay, sharp left. Woo! Beep, beep!
Oh, the deer. We're turning left at the deer.
Yeah.
After they crashed into so many obstacles on the course, Lexus asked them what they thought about texting and driving.
That just changed my perspective of like me being on the phone and texting.
You know, being young, I think it's really easy to think that we're invincible.
I mean, you're literally playing with your life.
I won't be touching my phone, throw it in the glove compartment.
NHTSA estimates that distracted driving killed over 3,100 people in the U.S. in 2019, a 10% increase from 2018. And maybe the solution are cameras that monitor the driver's attention, like Cadillac does with Super Cruise. But you don't need a full-blown system like Super Cruise to do a driver monitoring system. Magna just came out with a camera that's integrated right into the rearview mirror, which alerts drivers when they take their eyes off the road for too long. Other suppliers like Gentex are working on this too, and driver monitoring cameras are likely to become very common. In fact, they could even be mandated in the future. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. Borg Warner, propulsion solutions that support a clean, energy-efficient world. And by ZF, driving intelligence for software-defined vehicles and transforming next-generation mobility.